On behalf of Touch Football Australia, welcome to the 2018 National Touch League and Elite 8 Series. Please ensure you have your manager's pack and the conditions of entry next to you while we go through this presentation, and refer to those documents throughout for further information. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge our NTL event partners, Destination New South Wales and Coffs Harbour City Council. We thank them for their ongoing support. Should you need assistance in the lead up to or during the event, the names of the relevant tournament officials and key contacts are on your screen. Mobile phone numbers of those individuals are in your manager's pack, so please contact any of these individuals and they will be sure to help you. Touch Football Australia will be communicating via the NTL specific team app, the TFA and NTL websites, our social media accounts, and in the event of an emergency, stadium PA system. Should we need to contact tour leaders directly, we will contact you via mobile phone if urgent. However, we will also provide daily newsletter updates on generic event information, which will be available on the NTL team app. As we mentioned, Team App will play a large role in our communication, so we encourage everyone to download Team App, which is available from the App Store or Google Play. Simply search for Team App, and once you have downloaded and registered for Team App, search for National Touch League. The app will include all the news and provide push notifications in the event that we need to communicate en masse. It will also be the best place to check results, ladders and finals progressions. You can also see on the right hand side of your screen the social media handles Touch Football Australia will be using during the tournament. The results will largely be online as per recent tournaments. These will be through Team App or the NTL website. We will be printing daily results and ladders at the end of each day. However, if you want the latest results, please download Team App or visit the NTL website. The address is there at the bottom of your screen. We will now cover off on some risk management items, namely medical, weather policies, and some venue-specific information and various disciplinary protocols that are in play at the event. Entities are required to provide their own medical staff at the event. A doctor and a physio are available for serious injuries. Should you need a doctor or a physio, please flag TFA event staff identifiable by the fluoro pink event staff shirt, who will radio through for assistance to the relevant field or location. Touch Football Australia has adopted the AIS and Australian Medical Association's concussion in sport policy, and it will again be implemented at this event. Further details on the concussion policy can be found in your manager's packs or by visiting their website www.concussioninsport.gov.au. If your medical team are uncertain, please ask for assistance from the event medical team. Unfortunately, we have experienced inclement weather at national events in the past. Therefore, if we do so again, either the hot weather policy or the wet weather policy contained within the TFA extreme weather guidelines will come into effect. Please listen to the ground announcer and communications from the tournament officials if they will be implemented depending on the weather. There are a number of risks associated with team tents and the bringing in of various equipment into the facility. All this is covered in your manager's pack. However, we do ask that all electrical items brought into the stadium are tagged and tested and compliant with Australian standards. We would hate for a piece of electrical equipment to trip the stadium lights, for example, which would affect the running of the tournament, or for an item to cause serious injury or harm to a participant. So please make sure all electrical equipment are compliant and above board. The same goes with water safety. Obviously, ice bath recoveries are an important part of an athlete's well-being and management during these tournaments. However, we do ask that all water areas are supervised at all times and measures are put in place to prevent any wandering young children from accessing the water unsupervised. A lot of teams prepare their own meals, which is great. However, please make sure you abide by food handling standards so that we avoid any outbreaks of food poisoning or gastro. This will impact the health and well-being of participants and the running of the event. Finally, should we need to evacuate the stadium for any reason, please listen to the stadium PA and abide by the instructions provided by the ground announcer or your nearest TFA event staff or stadium staff member. For those that have been to an NTL before at Coffs Harbour, you will be aware that traffic and parking can be quite busy at times. Therefore, we do ask that you adhere to the signs and use caution at all times when driving and walking throughout the stadium precinct. Parking is available in the blue area indicated on the map on your screen. In terms of traffic management, we do ask that all buses, small and large, park in the provided bus parking area, which is indicated in gold on your screen, as this will greatly improve the traffic management in the main car park and also provide more car parking for spectators and teams. We also ask that you respect the disabled parking bays, which is allocated in the first row of bays in the main stadium car park. Please avoid parking in disabled bays, as we have had issues in the past where able-bodied drivers are taking up valuable disabled parking spaces, so we do ask for your cooperation here. Please use common sense when driving around the tournament and event precinct. There will be no vehicle access into the main stadium area. So if you are looking to drop off or pick up equipment from your tents, unfortunately, we are unable to grant you access to the main stadium area. However, our ground staff will be happy to assist with opening these gates and potentially helping entities outside of tournament hours to bring in or out large equipment. There will be prominent pedestrian access via the main and eastern gates. The venue is a totally non-smoking venue, so we ask that everyone refrain from smoking anywhere throughout the Coffs Harbour Stadium area. It will also be a dry zone up until 12 p.m. on Saturday. Absolutely no BYO is allowed, so please make sure your participants and spectators are aware of this. There will be a bar available in the main grandstand on Saturday. Please note there will be security guards checking bags and eskies coming in and out of the stadium, and we ask for your cooperations to assist them in checking these. There will be overnight security for the main event precinct, but as always, we recommend that no valuable items are left behind because the security guards can't be everywhere at one time. Just a general reminder too that no spectators are to be within 5 meters of a field that is in play. So if you are watching your teams, please make sure your players and spectators, your officials, are 5 meters back from the field. There will be a number of ropes or markings around the outer fields to designate this 5-meter barrier. This is for the safety of spectators and players and officials. In terms of training fields, we please ask you to avoid warming up or cooling down on actual playing surfaces. There is plenty of space around the fields. We ask for your cooperation to protect the playing surface for our event, but also for the many other users that frequent the stadium ongoing. In addition to Touch Football Australia staff, Coffs Harbour Stadium staff will be able to help entities with access to water and power and general facility inquiries. Please flag a TFA event staff and we will be able to put you in contact with a Coffs Harbour Stadium staff member. In terms of the disciplinary protocol, the key information is in your manager's pack. The main point that we want to raise on this particular slide is for you to be aware that the team can be penalised for the behaviour of officials and spectators. We would hate to see a vital game decided by the behaviour of someone off the field, so please make sure that you have advised all spectators and officials that their behaviour off the field can have an impact on the on-field result. Energy Images is once again providing the team photo service at the National Touch League. Team photos are being taken on Tuesday the 6th of March, 8 till 12 noon at the Town Jetty, Wednesday the 7th of March, 8 am to 5 pm, and Thursday the 8th of March, 8 am to 12 noon at the stadium. Team photos will be ready for collection on Saturday the 10th of March. With such large team numbers attending the event, it is recommended that teams book a photo time prior to the event commencing. With there being no tournament briefing this year, it is particularly important. You can now book your sessions via their online app energyimages.setmore.com. If you're having any issues, please contact Danielle on 0439 954 097 or email info@energyimages.com.au. In addition to team photos, Energy Images will be taking a range of action shots throughout the event, and they will be available on the Energy Images website at the conclusion of the event. For the next section, please make sure you refer to the conditions of entry as we go over these key dot points given their significance. Uniforms. We do understand that from time to time there are issues with suppliers or players losing gear. However, we do ask you have contingency plans in place to ensure that at all times your players and officials are in correct full uniform. This is a national event and Touch Football Australia is striving for a professional image, and it is a media broadcast event, so we have an obligation together to ensure our brand is protected and portrayed in the best possible light it can be. Therefore, we won't be accepting players and officials that are not in uniform, and that goes from an incorrect hat to a different style of shirt. We expect that all teams are in exactly the same uniform, and we do ask for your cooperation with this during the tournament. Also, in the event that a player does lose a shirt or a shirt is damaged, we do ask that you change the number of the player at the tournament information area. This is required due to a number of factors. Most noticeably, this is a selection event for a higher representation, so we want to be able to contact the correct individual if they have been selected for those honours. Also, in the event of any disciplinary issues, we want to be able to contact and have the correct player identified for those matters. So please ensure that you do complete a change of number form if you need to from the information area to change the player's number. In terms of the proof of eligibility challenges, protests or eligibility claims can be made on days 1 and 2 of the event. We will not accept protests or eligibility claims after the completion of play on day 2 of the event. So if you have noticed anyone who you think might not be eligible, please address it as soon as possible. It is the responsibility of each team to allocate the appropriate person to sign the score sheet at the end of each game. The appropriate person can be seen as the coach or team manager. In signing the score sheet, the nominated person on behalf of their team has acknowledged and accepted the information on the scorecard to be correct. This information includes full-time and half-time scores, playing numbers of players, crossing off players not participating in that game, touchdowns scored for both teams, and send-offs or periods of time sanctions. TFA encourages all referees, team players and officials to communicate throughout the game to make sure that all parties have the responsibility in ensuring that the score sheet is correct. If you do not agree with the information on the score sheet, do not sign the score sheet and lodge a protest via the tour leader within 30 minutes of the conclusion of the game. The following information is to be provided with the protest: the team that tapped off and the direction of play, the order of the scoring occurred, including player numbers of both teams, the halftime and full-time scores. The opposing team will be called to verify the score. If they do not agree, or in the event of an inconclusive evidence, the score will be recorded as the score that the referees have recorded. Alternatively, video evidence can be provided and the evidence will be used if it is conclusive. If the score sheet has not been signed and the time has passed for a protest to be lodged, the information on the score sheet will be recorded. If the information on the score sheet is unclear, and the relevant parties may be contacted to confirm. Linked with the accuracy of the score sheet, teams can register up to 16 players each side. However, only 14 players per team can participate in each game, and therefore we ask before the start of each game, you please cross out any individuals that will not be participating in that particular match. Penalties apply for teams that have more than 14 players participate. If you qualify to participate at NTL and are registered in the particular team, you can play finals regardless of how many preliminary games you have participated in. So any individuals that are not attending the first few days of competition but will turn up later on, please also cross them off the score sheet. In terms of the interchange area, a maximum of 20 participants may be present on the playing surface, including the interchange area and permitted coaching positions in each game. For example, 6 players on the field, up to 8 players in the interchange area, 2 non-players, and therefore, in this instance, only 4 officials would be able to be involved. If there are more than 20, event staff will ask you to rectify. All of these participants must be in enclosed footwear, including injured players. They must all be in either the official on-field playing uniforms, if they are a player in the said game, or the off-field entity uniform if they are a player that is not playing in the game, or an official such as a coach, manager, or medical staff. Interchanges are to occur within the 10 by 2 metre interchange gate at the front of the interchange area displayed on the right of the screen. All other officials and players not involved in the interchange must remain in the sub-box area at the back of the interchange gate. Coaches are permitted to position themselves at the end of the field 5 metres back from the dead ball line. However, they cannot issue any verbal or physical commands directly to the team. They are observing only and can only communicate to the team or other staff in the interchange area by returning to the interchange area or by use of electronic communication. Failure to comply will result in the individuals being asked to leave the venue for the duration of the game and may result in further action. Event staff will ask you to rectify any of these situations immediately. We do ask that you show event staff respect and listen to their instructions. They will ask you to rectify as they notice any issues, whether it be day one or with 5 minutes to go in the grand final. If you do not wish to be disturbed by event staff, please do the right thing from day one through to your last game. The drop-off rule will be as per the 7th edition playing rules with 2 slight modifications. If it is a draw at the end of regulation time and a drop-off is required, there will be a tap at halfway by the team that won the initial toss, and the team will run in the same direction as they ended the game. The first modification is that if the ball is knocked down, it does not constitute as a loss in possession and therefore play will continue. The second modification is only in the instance if touchdowns are scored off the first 3 consecutive sets of 6. In this instant only, the team that has had only one set will have the opportunity to score. If they do not in this set of 6, the game is over. Further details are in the manager's pack. For teams that are lucky enough to make the grand finals, the following provides you some information on the presentation elements, particularly for the Elite 8 and Mixed Open grand finalists. We ask that all players and officials in these divisions meet under the grandstand at the stadium tunnel 10 minutes prior to the match, ready for your players to be introduced onto the stadium in number order with your captains first. Players will line up facing the grandstand for the national anthem and then the match will commence. For all other divisions, please refer to the draw for your field number and time. Unfortunately, due to scheduling and infrastructure, we will be unable to play the national anthem or announce players onto the ground, and we will only require the winning team for the presentations. Please refer to the draw and presentation times for your location and further information. You can see on your screen now a rundown on all the presentations, timings and locations. The Mixed Open, Referee Awards and the Elite 8 presentations will occur on Field 1. All other divisions will occur in the courtyard immediately as you enter the stadium area through the main gates. The 2018 NTL paperwork submission session will be held on Tuesday the 6th of March at C.X Coffs Harbour International Stadium between 12 and 5 p.m. Please note all tour leaders have access through Sports TG to view registered players. We ask that you use this function to ensure your players' details are correct prior to the tournament. Team managers can request access from their tour leaders to view their teams online to ensure all players have registered correctly. Using this function, managers and tour leaders can also input playing shirt numbers for all players prior to the tournament. We request that player details are registered correctly and playing shirt numbers assigned in Sports TG no later than Sunday the 4th of March. Any late registrations after Sunday the 4th of March will need the player or participant to attend the paperwork submission session to complete the online registration process. No further registrations will be accepted after this date. That is it in terms of the online tournament briefing presentation. If you have any questions, your first point of call should be your tour leader. If they can't assist you or you are a tour leader, then by all means please contact Zoe Zanetti at Touch Football Australia, who will be able to help you and assist you with your inquiry. We look forward to seeing you all in Coffs Harbour in March.